and good video in the live broadcast. So let's just mute my audio there. Hello to everyone who's joined in on the live broadcast. You should see a noticeable difference in both the video quality and the audio quality on this live broadcast, and hopefully, just hopefully, fingers crossed, the technology is working for me and we have good audio synchronization. I've been working a lot on this in the background over the last few days, wanting to really improve the video and audio quality of the live broadcast, because I plan to do a lot more of this. I like the interaction between myself and you, the viewer. So before we jump into the main discussion topic for today, which is the Google Pixelbook and my thoughts on it as to whether it's going to be a good purchase for you, and also the use case scenarios of this new device. Before we do that, a shout out to Geek Shraven, Ryan Darcy, Yui Klinkmuller, also Audi123000 and Somyu Nath. Hello to all of you. Thank you very much for tuning in so quickly to the live broadcast. I'm also experimenting a little bit with the broadcast times as well. It's currently just coming up to midday in the UK, and I'm trying to connect with as many of you as I can, because I know some of you live in other countries other than the UK, so it's not always convenient when I stream in the evening here. And I just want to chat with as many of you as possible, because I've been doing YouTube for almost 11 years now. In fact, I think I've gone past that 11-year stage of broadcasting and making videos for YouTube. And I just really appreciate each and every one of you. I really, truthfully do. So before we get onto the main topic, just a couple of things. A big shout out to Elgato. They very kindly sent me their Camlink product. What this essentially does is it turns any camera that has an HDMI output or a clean HDMI output into a web camera. That is extremely useful, and I've currently got this connected to my Mac Pro, which is sitting in the background here. That's what's running the live broadcast today, and I've got my Panasonic GH5 connected via HDMI to the Camlink into the USB port, and then that in turn is coupled with the Rode NT USB, which is just in shot up here. It's a USB microphone. Rode are a main sponsor of the Geekanoids channel. I thank them for that. They make fantastic microphones and audio products, so the audio is courtesy of the NT USB. Also, for those of you who are eagle-eyed, you will have seen in the background here a new smartphone. This is probably the first step in my journey to actually my potential switch to Android. And I've got the two Google Pixel phones, the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL, coming into the studio so I can test them, with the intention that one will become my daily driver. This particular phone is the Moto Z2 Play, very kindly sent out to me by Vodafone. I will be unboxing this in a separate broadcast, hopefully later today, if not in the next couple of days. I've also got a couple of the Moto mods. This is a very thin phone, additional pieces on. One of them's a speaker, the other one is a 360 camera. So I've got that coming up in a future video as well. So let's take a look at the comments and just see what questions we've got coming. We have got a question here from Element Technology. Are you leaving Apple? Not entirely. I've been very unimpressed with iOS 11. If you watch back my last two broadcasts, my last two live broadcasts, that will give you some explanation as to my frustration with the platform. But I'm not leaving Apple for my sort of main desktop machine. I'm just looking at switching for my mobile device. Now I hope you can all still hear and see me, purely because I've got some problems with the stream at the moment, but hopefully everything's going okay. There seem to be a few technical difficulties. Let me just check my live broadcast here, and it seems to still be running fine, so that is good. Everything looks really very good on the stream. The connection seemed to have dropped very briefly there. I think we're back now. We had a connection drop out there. Everything's looking healthy my end. I hope you can hear and see me again. If it does drop out for you, just refresh the page. So let's take a look at the Google Pixelbook. This was a surprise. I didn't see this coming from Google, although they have had high-end Chromebooks before. The Pixelbook really could be a good move for them, purely because it gives you a very stable operating system, a very lightweight operating system on really high-end hardware, so the performance should be very good. A lot of people are saying the performance far exceeds what you need in a Chromebook, and I tend to agree, but this has got a little bit more going for it than a standard Chromebook. So I'm not going to go through all the specs, apart from it's got a really high resolution screen. It's a 12.3 inch LCD screen, 2400 by 1600 resolution. It's also a touch screen. There's dual speakers, 4 microphones on this product as well for Google Assistant. Could also be used for live broadcasting to YouTube perhaps. And there's also a 7th core Intel a 7th gen Intel Core processor, either an i5 or an i7 processor in the top end version, 8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then you can also choose either 128 gigabytes, 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage. That is absolutely fantastic to have that option there. Now, a lot of people are going to be buying the base entry level model, which is either $999 or £999 in the UK. And that for most people will be suffice, because a lot of the storage is going to be in the cloud. You don't need a lot of local storage. For those of you who know you need that extra storage, the 256 or 512 gigabytes, you'll know why you need that extra storage already. That will be apparent to you now, so it's sort of a non-discussion topic as to which model you go for. You'll know why you need that extra processing power. Now, if you're a video editor, like myself, I do video editing on a desktop, also got a MacBook Pro. If you edit videos on the move especially, or you're a heavy user of Photoshop or Lightroom, something like that, some very high-end or processor-intensive work that requires a full desktop operating system, then the Google Pixelbook is probably not for you. If, however, you use your current laptop, and I've got my MacBook Pro just sitting here, this is where I'm reading all of the comments to save me looking off camera so often. If, like me, and let's talk about my use case scenario of my MacBook Pro, this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro I bought with all intention of doing video editing on it as well, as I have with previous laptops, and I never do it. I do all of my video editing on my main machine. So if you use your laptop for browsing the internet, social networking, emails, communication, word processing, general office tasks, consuming media, i.e. watching videos, listening to music, etc., watching movies not on YouTube, sort of off YouTube, then the Pixelbook looks like a very enticing proposition. It looks very, very promising indeed. And I think a lot of people buy this sort of technology because they think that they are going to use it for a lot more than they actually end up using the product. So they buy the very high end, very top spec. For example, I'm broadcasting this from a Panasonic GH5 camera. I've also got a G85 just sitting here, and I tend to pick this up more often than the GH5. The autofocus is a little bit better on this, and this is by no means a top end model. So a very good example. You don't always need to invest in the highest cost product. Now, there are some other things that make the Google Pixelbook very enticing to people as well. Not only because it runs Google's Chrome OS, but there is another reason as well, and I'm going to talk about that very shortly. But before I do, let's have a look at the comments. Ryan Darcy, connection drop for anyone else? Yes, we did have a glitch. We are having some sort of glitch issues in the stream, but everything seems to have come back online now. Baz Barron, hi Dave, love the soundproofing. Yeah, this soundproofing is pretty much over 2 walls and some of the sort of ceiling area in the editing room. It's called AIX Foam. They produce all different colours, they produce different cuts as well, and they really do help you design the amount of soundproofing you need. And that's why I wanted to get this sort of sorted out, get a more professional broadcast setup sorted, purely because I use this area for doing voiceovers and it creates very, very good audio. So I really wanted to be able to broadcast as well from the editing room. And if this goes well, which it looks to be going okay, then this will become a more regular occurrence. So thanks very much for your nice comment. Ryan Darcy says, missed what you were saying about the Moto Z. Let's cover this off again just very quickly. Vodafone UK. We went down to a Vodafone social event, and Motorola very kindly, in partnership with Vodafone UK, gave me this. It's a loaner, so I've got it for about 2 or 3 weeks. This is the Moto Z2 Play. It's a really thin smartphone that works with these Moto mods. I've got a 360 camera and also a Sound Boost 2 speaker. And I'm going to be unboxing this in a future live broadcast. It might be later on today, depends how my work schedule plays out. If not, it's going to be in a future live broadcast, so do stay tuned for that. And any more questions before I move on to talking a bit more about the Pixel or the Chromebook, the Google Pixelbook? Chris Watson asks, just out of interest, are you going to get the Pixel 2 XL 64 or 128 gigabyte? I can't see the point with the free storage by Google. The free storage by Google is one of the main selling points. It's one of the big features or software integration features with the new Pixel phones. Personally, I'm getting the 128 gigabyte model anyway, but what you get with Google if you buy the Pixel phone is free storage in the cloud of all of your photos at full resolution, all of your videos at full resolution, for the next almost 3 years. It's until 2020, and by which time you'll have probably bought a new Pixel smartphone, and they'll extend that. No doubt they will extend that offer. That is a great value add to this particular product, being able to have free storage. I currently use my iPhone, and my photos already go up to the Google Cloud anyway. They also go up to Apple, but I'm always running out of room, and then I have to pay a monthly fee to extend that storage or use something like Dropbox. Thankfully, I'm using the compressed storage feature at Google, so I get a slightly lower resolution photo uploaded to the cloud. So when I switch across to the Pixel smartphone, or indeed on my desktop or laptop, iPad, I can access my Google Photos anywhere. So it's a great feature. Sumyu Nath says, did you upgrade to High Sierra? Not yet. These are production machines. I tend to wait a long time before I do an upgrade on the software. Baz Barron says, what extra lighting have you got on today? Well, it's not just the lighting that's improved the live broadcast today. We've got a little bit of natural light coming into the editing room. I've also got an overhead light on, and I've also got one of my studio lights in the far corner, which is also on, so we're getting much better lighting. But it's also down to the camera and lens, because we're broadcasting with the Panasonic GH5 and also the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 32mm f2.8 lens, so it gathers a lot more light. Previously I was live broadcasting with either my iPhone 7 Plus or the iPad Pro, so it's just a lot better camera. We're also pushing this out in 1080p this time, which might be what caused that dropout earlier. But certainly after this broadcast is finished, you'll be able to watch it back in 1080p instead of 720p. So I was also going to mention about why the Pixelbook also has something else up its sleeve. So it is running Chrome OS, a limited operating system, With Chrome OS, you can access all of the Google applications. So you've got things like Google Documents, the spreadsheets, Google Keep, Google Sheets is called. That's the spreadsheet one. You've got Google Play Music, Play Movies, Google Photos, Google Keep as well. But this device also adds into the into the mix the fact that you can install Android applications. So this is the really big thing, because you can install something like Instagram and Adobe Lightroom, and you could edit photos on this device stored locally or in the cloud and then share them on the likes of Instagram. I've also been doing a bit of research, and assuming this supports all Google Android apps, then you should be able to install things like a video editor and other photo editors apart from Adobe Lightroom. If it has full Play Store support, which I believe it does, then you should be able to install loads of different applications, and that really opens up the possibilities with the Pixelbook. It's not going to replace a full production machine for me and for others, but being able to do that photo editing, being able to do the video editing, and hopefully if it gains popularity, then developers will make new apps for it. Maybe we will find an iMovie alternative or a Final Cut Pro alternative, or something that we can use instead of Adobe Premiere Pro. And that would really be a game changer, because you've got this very lightweight but effective operating system that's very secure, constantly updated on a really high specified machine up to a Core i7, running applications that you can then really utilize to create as well as consume content. And then other applications that are mentioned on the page here, the actual product page, are things like AutoCAD. We've also got Evernote mentioned here as well. We've got Infinite Painter, so already like a painting application. And we've got things like Nebo, Netflix, Sketchbook, Slack, Spotify, Squid, TuneIn Radio, and of course YouTube also mentioned here as well. Now, something I haven't mentioned is there is also a pencil or a pen. So we have got, let me just find it here. It's called the Google Pixelbook pen. It is currently sold out. Unfortunately, when I get my review product in, I've not got the Pixelbook pen coming. I didn't jump on it quick enough, and this would allow you to actually draw on the screen. So you could use this like an iPad Pro to create art. It also allows you to circle things, and it works in combination with Google Assistant, and whatever you circle, it will actually give you results based on the image that you circle. So it's got some nice use case scenarios for using the Pixelbook pen with the touch sensitive screen. Now, I'm not sure, this is something that I haven't seen any videos on, but this is £99 for the Pixelbook pen. If I'm going to buy that just for circling things on the screen, I need to know, can I use my finger and circle things on the screen as well? That is what I don't know at this stage. That's what I'll test when I get one in. And I'm just really excited about this new product. Now, before I move on to taking some more questions, I'm going to try and keep this to round about the sort of 20 to 30 minute mark for this particular live broadcast, purely because I'll probably be broadcasting again later. I want to just cover off a couple of things that happened yesterday. Over the past, over the past few weeks, I think I'm up to about 32, maybe 35 requests to do a review, or my opinion, on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now, I've got a long history of covering Samsung devices. With Samsung at the moment, I actually purchase products in to review, and then once they've been reviewed, then they get recycled, they get sold out, funds come back in. But often I have to sell them at less than what I actually purchased them in at. I had a lot of you say that you would contribute to a fund, so I have set up a GoFundMe page. I will tweet that out. I will also possibly put it in the chat at the end of this broadcast. It just allows me to create some funds, generate revenue aside from ad revenue, which is quite small at the moment, to allow me to get these devices in. So if you can contribute in any way, then please do. The super chat's also there if you want to highlight your question. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to just touch on is I've also had a lot of requests for the more longer term review on products. That's difficult because when I do get loaner products like this, then they're normally for 2 or 3 weeks. With the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL, I will be actually keeping those longer term, so I'll be able to do follow-up videos for you and really get in depth with some sort of real use case scenarios of using the camera, for example, using it for vlogging, and report back to you in these live broadcasts and pre-recorded videos as well as to how the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL are working for me. And I'm going to make one of them my daily driver for at least 3 to 6 months before looking at switching to anything else. So I'm giving it a really, really solid chance. We've got some questions here from Shashank. What's your daily driver phone and will it change? Yes, it is currently the iPhone 7 Plus and it will change to either the Pixel 2 or the Pixel 2 XL. I'm leaning towards the XL version because I like larger screen smartphones. Now we've got another question here, is from S Baggins. If you keep the Google Pixel, will you integrate it into your Apple ecosystem or keep it separate? I will definitely be looking at ways to integrate it. I've already switched over messaging platforms. I'm trying 3 actually in total. Google Allo and Duo for sort of real deep integration, and I'm also trying WhatsApp. And I'll also integrate it more and find ways of bringing Google Photos into play more. So that is all in process. It's going to be an interesting journey for me, and I'll be bringing you on that journey. Ryan Darcy says, is it going to have touchscreen technology? I think you're referring to the Pixelbook discussion. Yes, it has got a touchscreen. You can interact with it with your finger. I'm just not sure if the Google Assistant part, where you circle things, only works with the Google Pixel Pen. And just one last thing for today's broadcast, or for this morning's broadcast, from Aldi123000. Dave, just wanted to say that I love your content. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. I've seen you comment a lot on my videos and also jump into the live broadcasts, and I really do truly appreciate it. So anyway, that is it for this live broadcast. Let me know when this video goes online after the broadcast has ended. Let me know what you think of the Google Pixelbook. Jump back in and watch the video again and just comment with what you think of it. If you think it's going to be a success or a flop, I'll be covering it on the channel, so I'll be able to give you my opinion in the future. I think mine is due in about 2 weeks, something like that, 2.5 weeks. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. But anyway, that's it for the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you again later.